What is up, guys? It is Coaster Watch here. Today I have another fantastic video for you guys. This is my top 10 rides at Busch Gardens, Tampa. I know, it sounds like GP, but I don't care. Busch Gardens, Tampa is home to many great thrill rides, such as their thrilling roller coasters and their world-class drop tower, and is just often considered one of the best parks in the world, and I would have to agree with that. But anyways, without further ado, let's get right into this. So we're going to start with a couple honorable mentions, both of their water rides. Now, Congo River Rapids is, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to let you down. If you've been on, Popeyes at Universal, or the River Rapids at Disney, or just any halfway decent river rapids in general, it's going to be miles better than this, because this is extremely short, has no drops, and I never get wet on it. I got wet on this ride once, and it was on my feet, and my feet got all soggy after. Not a big fan of this ride. And the next one is their log flume, which is called Log Flume. Once again, it's just the most underwhelming log flume. The drop isn't steep at all, so you get no airtime. You don't really feel like a drop. It just kind of feels like you're sledding down a hill, like you're a 3-year-old. Once again, this is just a really underwhelming ride. So, let's get into the real top 10. Coming at the number 10 spot, we have Skyride. So, no, this isn't a joke. Skyride gives you some excellent views of the park, the safari, all the coasters. You can take some great pictures from up there. It's just a really relaxed ride. As long as the line isn't any longer than Cheetah Hunt, I usually try to get around to it every visit. Next up at the number 9 spot, we actually have Sand Serpent. So, go ahead and laugh at me. I haven't been on this credit yet. I've been to this park 16 or 17 times in the past year, and I still haven't gotten around to this dang credit. Same thing with the kitty credit. But no, this is just a typical Mack Wild Mouse, and they're all fine and enjoyable. There isn't really too many bad wild mice out there. This seems like a pretty good ride, though. I think, personally, maybe even better than Dark Knight. But I'm not going to be getting around to it anytime soon, because they're going to close it and build a building around it. At the number 8 spot, we have Phoenix. So this is an Intamin looping star. I think that's what it's called. Something like that. And what it is, it's just a looping, it's one of those pirate ship rides, but it loops you and it goes upside down. You guys have all seen one before. I hate this ride, though. It's fun, but I hate it. So the over-the-shoulder restraints, they're weird. They're just really weird. But you also have an over-the-shoulder restraint that, hangs you by your neck. Yeah. And then you have this lap bar that's, it's a pressurized, air can that, kind of, squeezes out. And it literally, squeezes into you so hard that your eyes pop out. Luckily, it only squeezes you for, a couple seconds. And then it, knocks back, 2 inches. But man, nothing hurts. And then when you're just hanging upside down for 15 seconds at a time, you just experience all sorts of weird pain. Hey, I hate it. It's a pretty bad ride, but I love it. At the number 7 spot, we have Cobra's Curse. This is a fantastic family coaster, one of the best I've ever been on. It's a very fun family coaster. Only problem is that the spinning kind of underwhelmed me. The elevator lift is fun. The theming is amazing. Overall, just a great family experience. But beware of those long lines, though, because usually the line is a lot longer than what's posted outside. And there's a million secret rooms. You think the next room is gonna be outside in the station, but nope, it's just another freaking themed room. But there's live snakes in the queue, so it's all good. At the number 6 spot, we have Scorpion. So Scorpion is a very good Schwarzkopf coaster. This is why I like it better than Cobra's Curse. It's just because of the sheer intensity. There's really only 2 intense moments, which are the vertical loop and the helix at the very end. And it's a little bit rattly, but this thing is fun. My first ever ride, I got back row, and I was just blown away. And once again, this is one of those weird rides that has one of the longest lines at the park, since it's a capacity nightmare. It runs 16? It runs 20 people per train, and there's one train. There's only ever been one train in operation, which really, really sucks, but it's so well. Breaking into the top 5 at the number 5 spot, we have Falcon's Fury. Often considered one of the best drop towers in the world. So what this thing does, it takes you up 310 feet. Well, the drop is 310 feet, but the tower itself is 335. You go up to the very top, and then it faces you towards the ground. So you're face down at the ground. You're getting hang time, and feel like you're gonna fall out. But it is just great. The drop is just so refreshing. It feels like you're diving down like a falcon or like an eagle or something. My only problem is that you don't get airtime on this drop tower, and what else? It's just the drop doesn't last as long as the other drop towers. Like, by the time you're only halfway down the tower, the brakes are already kicking in, and there's brake fins running up and down the tower, so you're naturally just getting a trimmed experience. And it's tall, but it's not as fast as other drop towers at that height. But overall, I love that ride. It is amazing. It's a great experience. You cannot skip out on it. At the number 4 spot is Cheetah Hunt. This coaster's been getting a lot of hate recently in the community. But overall, I like this coaster. You guys know my opinions on it. Go check out my review on this coaster. At the number 3 spot, we have another coaster that I need to review soon, is SHEIKRA. I love SHEIKRA. It's basically kind of the same drop feeling as Falcon's Fury, except maybe even a little bit better in the back row with some airtime. It's a typical B&M dive coaster. It hangs you over a drop. It hangs you over what's it called, like a holding brake, and then it drops you down, goes through Immelman into a mid-course brake run, dives down again. Second drop is better because it's has momentum going into it, so you get airtime over it. And then the splashdown, helix, and brake run. The reason why I like it more than Cheetah Hunt is because it's a little bit more intense. At the number 2 spot, we have MONTU. This is my favorite B&M invert coaster. This thing is just so intense. From the moment you leave the chain to the moment you hit the brakes, everything is just high adrenaline and intensity. This ride is just a pure adrenaline rush. It is so great. My only complaint is that the batwing is trimmed, and then after the mid-course brake run, it takes a little bit before it gains its speed back. I love the trench dives and the final corkscrew. Overall, great ride. And what could possibly be my number 1 coaster, or number 1 ride at Busch Gardens Tampa? How about KUMBA? This thing is the definition of intense. Every single inversion is just you're just whipping through it. That hell roll, man. The 0G roll, almost halfway through the ride, is just insane. This is one of the only enjoyable Cobra rolls. It's really, really rough. It's fun. That's the thing about this ride. It will beat you up a little bit, but if you ride in the front middle rows, it shouldn't be too bad, and it is just downright intense. I've never been on anything this intense before, guys. This is just purely a fun, intense roller coaster. This is only a coaster you can ride 3 times in a day, then you kind of have to leave. But anyways, that is my top 10 rides at Busch Gardens Tampa. Let me know what some of you guys' favorite rides are at Busch Gardens Tampa. And now I'm just gonna say this about the park in general. I'm gonna rant for 30 seconds. This park needs more rides, man. They don't have as many thrilling rides as other parks do. They really only have their looping star and their drop tower. Other than that, it's just kiddie rides and poopy water rides. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.